So it's not every day you get a gutted Promaster dropped off at your place to do some electrical on. So let's go inside and look at what I've already done. So for me, I'm not doing a full build out in this van. The owner has brought it to me mainly to get the electrical and the solar done, which included putting a roof AC unit in, a couple rear slide windows, one on the driver's side and one here on the passenger side. And then we're gonna get some nice Victron goodies right here. Yeah, I've got my PV wire coming through the roof here, and I'll take you up there and show you what I've done so far. Here on the roof, you can see I've already got my XR100 rail on. And these little guys here make mounting to the roof of the Promaster super easy. If you're not familiar with those, they bolt directly onto these little T-bolts that are already installed on the roof of the van, so no need to drill a bunch of new holes to hold this on. And for this span, this XR100 is perfectly fine with a mount being there, and there's not a lot of load on here. It's very, very, very strong. So you could upgrade to 1000 if you wanted, but it's not necessary. I will also be installing for the owner the Starlink Mini, and that's going to be using the heavy duty magnets that are just going to stick right to the roof, and then I'll have another entry gland, and I'll show you the wire management over there on the other side. I did not want this gland here to go into the lower area, and I did not like that originally these are a little bit wider by a ½ inch on both sides, and I didn't want to have that overhang with the screws going into these ribs here, so I just cut it down to fit. Pre-drilled my own hole here in the back and redid the ones up here in the front, and then using 3M tape, double-sided sticky tape, I just stuck this right to the roof. And yes, this will get some self-leveling caulking to go over it. I'm not at all ever worried about this leaking. Here I have my MC4 connectors attached directly to the panel. So these are wire clamps for bare copper number 6 wire that you usually find attached to your ground rod wire on your house. I love doubling up on those and screwing them straight into the back with self tappers, and then right up to the front panel. So you can see not a lot of wire hanging down. And then that is going to be for the Starlink going down into the roof. I have yet to decide on where that's going to go because I don't want that hole to be very far from where the Starlink satellite is sitting. So it is the delivery day for the Promaster van, and I'm just going to walk through the outside first and show you everything that was done. Starting up top, we added XR100 railing using the mushroom mount Promaster van kits, 2 200-watt solar panels for 400 watts of solar input. Added the Houghton 120-volt 15K heat pump roof AC unit. Got the Starlink Mini mounted up there using the heavy duty magnets. This is probably the best way to go if you're going to be putting Starlink on your van. Added 2 slider windows in the back. Down here we've got an auxiliary port, 12 volt for additional solar input. If we want to do a ground system array, keep in mind that a ground deploy will also need its own charge controller into this port. Also got the 30 amp twist lock plug. Very nice. All right, now we're going to go inside and see what we did. First, we're going to start underneath the driver's seat for something a little different. So down here, we have the Orion DC to DC charger, 50 amp. And then inside, let's open things up. In preparation for the rest of the build out, we do have our GFCI protected outlet here for the kitchen space. Have another outlet here on the back, which all of this can be extended out. And then one up here on the front, if we're going to have some sort of sitting space in the front of the van, and then left plenty of extra wire. Right here, we do have the battery monitoring system, which is Bluetooth. That's the Victron BMV 712. Got the Cool Gear buck boost for the Starlink Mini on the roof. And then I have it on an on and off switch so that it's not always drawing power when it's not in use. Got the windows on the inside leak tested. These turned out very nice. You can see we got our 12 volt lighting. Now this is just staged because this is probably going to move depending on how the rest of the van build goes. This is just in preparation for how things are going to be for this owner as they continue to do the build out down the road. They just wanted to get the electrical done because they were not comfortable with that. Along with adding the roof unit, because she is going to have pets inside here, they chose to go with a 120 volt style 15K BTU. This also has a heat pump in it, so this will provide heating into the space as well. In the back, there is the remote controlled max air fan. And then down here, all of the goodies. Starting here at the load center, it's just a very basic 30 amp system, but because with the Victron Multi Plus, the assist function is going to be used in this quite often, so I upgraded to a single pole 50 amp breaker and then used number 6 wired from the Multi Plus back to the panel. Got a nice little cigarette lighter charge port. And then here, USB and USB-C charging ports. Nice little cubby space there to store various things. So for the heart of the build out, went with the Vatier 460 12 volt. The wonderful thing about doing a single big battery like this is that less wire is being used. You only have to have one fusing point for this entire battery output. This also has its own on-off button there. Down here, we got our disconnect, our links with all the fusing. This is the Battery Protect 65, so that controls DC outputs to the 12 volt load side. This just helps protect the battery in case you leave a light on or some other source that's drawing 12 volts, like the Starlink. We want this to disconnect the 12 volt loads before the battery shuts down. That way, we still have a way to plug the inverter in and charge from shore power or generator. And then over here, our solar disconnect. Overall, a very clean build. And then the Victron Multi Plus 3 kVA finished out nicely in this back cubby area. Wired up the smart dongle so that we can control the input current from shore power. And then of course, lots of wire protect because this is in an open cabinet. Very nice, clean finish build out for this Promaster van.